you guys, welcome to Petty Talks with Deja. And today I want to talk about the Dorit Kemsley and PK situation, where it looks like PK is kind of exposing their situation. From what I'm reading, it doesn't look like it's coming from anybody else. It's coming from him, which is confusing. But I'll tell you what I honestly think. So if you don't know who Dorit Kemsley and PK Kemsley are, she is currently on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She's been on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for a couple of years now. Her and her husband PK, they are getting a divorce. They either are divorced or getting divorced. I think they are still getting a divorce. They're not fully divorced yet. But a big thing with them was while they were still together, there was an alleged robbery that happened. So Doree and her kids were at home. PK was like in the UK or something like that. And the house got robbed. Or he was coming back home. So the house got robbed. He came home, consoled her, and people were basically saying like this is a scheme that Todd set up. Like PK probably lost a lot of money and he's trying to recoup it. There was also something happening on the show where apparently Dorit was about to get kicked off because she was being called boring by everybody. So that was something that kept her on the show for like a little bit longer. And then now we have them separating, them getting a divorce, that's keeping her on the show. And then PK, she came on the show and said PK was an alcoholic. That's keeping her on. And then they have this really messy divorce where PK is not wanting to um, you know, pay for the house and stuff like that. He's telling her, when I leave, the money leaves too. You have to take over all of these bills because I'm not living in that house. And then they're on camera going at it. He's and the blogs are going at it with her, putting out stuff. So what I'm basically trying to allude to is that I think that this is just something like a scheme that PK and the REIT set up to come to the viewers with the bullcrap. And this is why I stopped watching the show. Just Garcelle Bouvet was the reason why I watched the show. When she left, I left. I mean, I watched it before she came on there, but when she left, I left because these girls is not real. They're not showing their real lives, and it's just fake. Like these text messages that came from that are in TMZ. It's basically their read saying like, "Hey, I received a letter in the mail," and they're basically saying on April 30th they're gonna put our house up for auction, and we're gonna be having to move out of here. What are you talking about, Dorit? First of all, they ain't gonna send you no goddamn letter in the mail. They're gonna put a notice on the door. All right, it's gonna be bright orange, or it's gonna be this very long white paper. I know because one of my neighbors, they had it happen to them, and I'm looking at the paper and I'm like, what's going on? And I don't see my neighbors no more because they done got out of Dodge. Like, they probably will let you know, but this has been happening with them for like, I want to say like a year now, where it's basically been like, we're finna lose our house. We're not gonna lose our house. We're gonna lose our house. And it's like this back and forth. Girl, if you were finna lose your house, they not gonna put you no nice paper on the door. No, the sheriff's office is gonna put you a damn notice on your front gate, and it's gonna be there, and it's gonna have several pieces of tape so that the weather and the elements cannot wash it away. But you're gonna be out of that house, okay? They're gonna get somebody to come and open up that damn gate, open up your front door, and they're gonna put your shit on the outside of that damn gate. I just don't understand why they keep playing with us, like why they keep doing this like little rigmarole where it's just like we're getting kicked out, and then now he's talking about some like she's spending 1.5 million dollars in like luxury clothes and stuff. What are we doing? You broke or you're not. Either you got the money to pay your bills or you don't. How it's not making any sense to me. So I'm not honestly sure if he was saying like during their whole time of being in a relationship or if he was just saying then. But 1.5 millions on a $1 million clothes is just like insane to me. But it does kind of track because Dorit in their relationship, and I think that he was being honest when he did say this. He was basically saying like Dorit, PK was saying that Dorit changed, and we see from the very first pictures of when she first in a relationship, then when she had the baby, and then around the time when she started getting on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the Dorit that we know now is definitely not the girl from before. Like it's a completely different person. So I do think that she did try to do a lot of stuff, which a lot of these women do. They come onto the show, they try and do a lot of stuff to like make their lives look bigger, better, grander than it really is. I mean, I really can't fault her for it because it just happens. They feel like they need to do that. But also, if you didn't have the money to do that, then I don't know. But then also, like, you were playing into it too, PK, because you wanted to be on the show. Y'all had Boy George living with y'all. Boy George. No, I'm not saying Boy George is just that person right now, but he was an internationally known star. So it's just like for him to be living with y'all is just like y'all just had so much going on, you know? It just feels fake. It feels fake. And I think that's why I'm so upset with this because it's just like first of all, get a divorce. Second of all, Dorit, leave that house. Go get you something smaller, baby, because it don't seem like you can afford it. But also, I just want Andy to be like, kind of pull her to the side and be like, look, I know that you got a lot of stuff going on. But people want to know if it's real or if this is just something to keep y'all on the show. Because we're not gonna pretend like that doesn't happen. You know, like Dr. Heavenly on Married to Medicine said that they brought Sweet Tea on the show to keep Quad on the show because they knew that that would be a good storyline for Quad, and it was something they just could not miss up, miss out on like that storyline. So I don't think that it's too far fetched to think that they are just like, hey PK, they writing down a list, and when I tell you they going through that damn list, all right, so robbery, check. Garcelle saying I'm a liar, check. Garcelle ain't on the show no more, so you can't go back and forth with her. So now you got to really put out them finances and be like, this girl, she's spending like crazy. She doing all this. Um, I don't know. I hate this. I hate that they're having a resort to this. But I do want to read some of the text messages because I just saw that TMZ like they put the entire thing. And mind you, this is from PK. This is from PK. So it just literally says, I received a letter in the mail saying that the house is going to auction sale April 30th. Are you aware? This is what Dorit said. This is what PK said. No. Dorit said, really scary, PK. And then PK said, you've read it wrong or it's a fake email. Suggest you send it to me. And she says, it's not false. I'll send it to you. So she sends a picture over. She says, why have you paid the arrears and taken it out of foreclosure? I'm really confused. This isn't worth taking a chance. And he says that the letter you have received is from someone effectively offering to help. It's a sales letter dressed up as an official addressed to look as an official letter. There is no April 30th auction. She says, how do you know there's no auction on April 30th? I don't think we are aware of everything that is happening now that the foreclosure has been registered. Oh, happening now that the foreclosure has been registered. And he says you have a fast track to resolving the issues within the house, and that is to sign the agreements that have been provided. To date, you have chosen a different path that leads to a different result. She says, what are you talking about? I'm waiting on you. I've told you 100 different ways. I will always sign the agreement, but you haven't paid the arrears or taken it out of foreclosure. And now your lawyer is just delaying. Are you now saying you won't pay the arrears and take the house out of foreclosure like you promised? Is this another game that you're playing with mine and the children's lives? I'm waiting on you. Oh wait, I'm waiting on you. Blah blah blah. I told you 100 different ways I will sign the agreement, but you haven't paid. Blah blah blah. Okay, so that was the end of it, which is minding the children's lives. Honestly, if this is, I will just say, if this is true though, I can absolutely see. First of all, because PK sent this to the blogs, and this is like something like, girl, the only person that you need to be talking about is Dorit, your lawyer, and Dorit's lawyer. I mean, only people you need to be talking to, because I don't understand why you put in everybody else in y'all stuff. Um, if this is true, I can definitely see it where he's either lying to her, either he has the money he don't want to give because they're getting a divorce, which I don't understand, but I can see that line of thinking. But I also think that he ain't got the money. You know, I think that's a really big thing with PK. He does not have the money. She already said that he was a drunk. I don't know if that storyline is true, but I do think that I don't know. I just don't trust PK. PK seemed like a slimy ass man. You know, like PK seemed like he ain't got the money. I think he was cheating on. This is alleged, but I think he was cheating on his wife, and then he got with Dorit or something like that. Like he left his whole family for Dorit. I don't know. It was just something weird and slimy. You know. Anyways, if something else comes out, I'll definitely talk about it again. But this whole situation is just stupid to me. Just get a divorce. Just sell that damn house. But this has been Petty Talks with Deja. Just let me know what y'all think. Do you think that, they're lying? Do you think this is actually real? Do you think that PK is a drunk? Just let me know what you think. Have a good day.